yards of mulch to move. So I'm off to the nursery. I want to add a few plants out by the patio, rabbits killed our very young blueberry bushes, so I'm just going to add some evergreen plantings over there. So we'll do that now. We'll go to the garden center, get some plants. So I'm adding these tiki torches here by the pond because up by the patio our security light is so bright that it doesn't trigger the photocell for them to come on. These are coming on, so I figured I'd just add them back here. So one of the projects that I want to do this year is this little decorative pond. I want to dig it deeper, actually bigger. There's a hole in the liner, so I've got to replace the liner anyhow. So I'm thinking actually making the pond like twice its size, and still got to get electric out here. You could see the receptacle back there. The power ran up to where the old shed was. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run power from there to the barn and grab electric that way. It's on the list to do. right, before we start putting the mulch down, I want to get these plants in. Let me show you what we've got. This is called a blue rug juniper. And you can see that here. We got 4 of them. What I like about it, it's no maintenance at all. It's just going to kind of creep. So we're not going to have to be trimming more bushes. And then this is called Anna's Magic. It's a kind of a golden arborvitae. And again, not a lot of maintenance with them. Every once in a while, you kind of knock down the legginess of it. That's really what I'm trying to do around the property. You know, not getting any younger, so less maintenance is better. So let's throw these in real quick. Then I'm going to cut the grass, and then we're going to do some mulch. I'm going to plant these a little bit high because, again, we've got some mulch coming in. About 12 yards of mulch to move, going all around the property. Just going to kind of put it in piles in the beds. So mulch is done. You see over by the lilac bush, mailbox, trees, the row of evergreens. If you remember, we trimmed those up, which boy did that make it easier to put the mulch down. And then up here by the front porch, and now that the mulch is done, cherry blossoms are coming down. That's a Japanese maple. I put these red geraniums in here, kind of surprise test when she gets home. Hostas are coming up. That will fill in all this back. So these are the 3 golden arborvitaes that I put in. All this mulch is going to settle. We're supposed to get a good deal of rain tomorrow, and this will all settle and flatten down. And actually it'll look better. And coming across here, front of the patio, I've got, again, trying to surprise Tess when she gets home, I've got some multicolored petunias. You know, the ironic thing is, this is a hummingbird feeder, which I need to fill. But those petunias, they attract the hummingbirds like crazy. Yeah, we get some with the feeder, but not as many as we get with the petunias. So coming across here, around the patio, and then, if you remember again, those pine trees that we trimmed up, that bed's done. The bed underneath the big birch tree, the bed underneath the grapevines. Here is my dilemma. Boy, do I wish I had a backhoe on the 2038R. I used to have one on the 1025R, and this job would be ideal. This is like a little mini pond. What I'd like to do is to get all these rocks slid back, because there's a hole in the liner. So we have to slide all the rocks back. Be perfect with a thumb on a backhoe. Pull the liner out, put a new liner in, but I also want to dig it a little bit wider and deeper. Deere wants almost $12,000 for a backhoe for my tractor. I know there's some off-market ones, but then again, I look at it, the reason I didn't get it on this tractor, I had it on the 1025R, I just don't use it that much. You know, I'm a firm believer. Here on the property, I didn't have much need for it, and as far as working for other people, somebody wants a water line or electrical line run, you know, an excavator is the way to go. You hit big rocks or roots in that, you're going to be there for quite a while with one of these little tractors. But yeah, I'm not spending $12,000. There's no way. What I did do, you see that GFI box? Well, we just did this yesterday. We've got an electrical line that runs underneath here. There's a junction box here, and you can see the path that we dug all the way up to the barn. And right here, it terminates inside the barn where there's already an existing plug. It's going to be on a separate circuit. We'll do that in the next few days, because if that GFI should trip, if this line gets cut for any reason, then this whole wall of the barn would be out for electricity. So we're going to put it on a separate circuit. But yeah, I got electric now. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do with the pond. If I don't do that this year, I'll probably end up cleaning it up a little bit, filling it, and just using it. We'll see what happens. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Finally able to start to get a few things done now that the rain seems to have subsided. I'm putting off cutting the grass till tomorrow because it's still so wet out there. But I wanted to get those evergreens trimmed, and then you know, just saw through the grapple line and got rid of the debris. Yeah, a lot more to go, but we're making some progress. Thank you so much for joining us. Always love being with you guys, and God bless you all, and we'll see you next time on Tractors in Life.